Mr. President, we want you to know that the more they told us not to go to Burkina Faso, the more we ran to Burkina Faso. Mission number 2, we have watched you, Mr. President. You stand for everything that we have hoped for in an African man. Descendants of the formerly enslaved, they have waited over 400 years to return the spirits of their ancestors back home to Africa.
Our culture is what binds us Africans.
Africans in diaspora, Caribbeans, Jamaicans, Black Americans, every black person in the face of the earth are loving Ibrahim Traore. That is fact. That is fact. I don't know if you have another fact apart from that, but I know that Africans in diaspora, they are showing their support to Ibrahim Traore, to Goita, to Tiani, you know, the 3 juntas or 3 musketeers of Sahel region. And we saw Dr. Rekana the other day. They had a meeting. They met with Ibrahim Traore and they talked about how they're going to support this movement that is here. Because what Ibrahim Traore is trying to do is a pan-Africanist spirit. Because as a pan-Africanist, you have to stand against imperialism. You have to call out neo-colonialism. You have to reject foreign interference simply because, you know, we need Africa for Africans. Okay? As a pan-Africanist, that's what pan-Africanist means. Africa for Africa. It has generalized everything. And Ibrahim Traore is a real or a true pan-Africanist. And if you saw the video, or even if you didn't saw the video where Dr. Rekana, they came with other pan-Africanists, other African in diaspora, and Ibrahim Traore was there, they showed support and Ibrahim Traore welcomed them home to Africa. If you didn't watch that video, just watch it and then we continue.
Descendants of the formerly enslaved, they have waited over 400 years to return the spirits of their ancestors back home to Africa. When the children of Africa were taken out of Africa as slaves, all they ever wanted to do was to come back home to Africa. Each and every one of them that you see, many of them are coming to Africa for the first time. They're bringing with them the spirits of their ancestors to put them to rest here in Burkina Faso. And that's mission number 1. You have over 300 million African diaspora who are looking up to you. We are here to show you that we are with you. We support you. We are behind you. And we will not let you down. Many of us were told, don't go to Burkina Faso. It's a war-torn country. Guns all over the street. Mr. President, we want you to know that the more they told us not to go to Burkina Faso, the more we ran to Burkina Faso. Mission number 2, we have watched you, Mr. President. You stand for everything that we have hoped for in an African man. Courageous, fearless, and in their faces. France, unapologetically, you told France, pack your bags and go home.
It is more than a pleasure that you chose to come here to Burkina.
Que vous ayez choisi de venir ici au Burkina. On vous a sûrement dit que
They surely told you that it is an unvisitable country. They told you that it's death here, it's war, there is only negative things, and Burkina is called black. That here, only blood and weapons flow, that's what is said elsewhere. Thank God you arrived safely. You were able to be in Bobo Dioulasso. You've lived with us. Our culture is what binds us Africans. You were able to commune with many other nationalities who came to celebrate with us. Everything went very well. Now you are in Ouagadougou, and I hope that you are very well received, very well housed, and that you managed to commune with your brothers here. This is an important message that you are sending to everyone, and now you will be the ambassadors of this message when you are at home. That Burkina is very friendly. We live in Burkina Faso. What they want to make people believe is not Burkina. This is what they draw to get people to flee Burkina, and they depict all of Africa like that. For them, Africa is misery. Africa is famine. Africa is war, but it's them who are responsible for this war. We need to unite, but they have always been there to divide us, to be able to reign on us through slavery. Our ancestors experienced it, and until today, we have it fed up in our flesh, but it continues.
Welcome back. Now, Ibrahim Traore, Tiani, Goita, they are one of the most loved presidents right now in Africa. And I was talking about Ibrahim Traore alone, but I was being reminded that there are three of them, because the other two again receive, love from Africans and black people because of their commitment to liberate Africa. It is true, Traore is most loved. No one can deny that. Okay? So, the issue of African in diaspora coming back home, it's one of a kind. Because when Africa has this stability and, we fight for the freedom, that means that it will be easy for African in diaspora to come back home. You may ask yourself that why are they not just boarding aeroplane and come back home? No. The system has kept some regulations and laws to, to suppress the coming of African in diaspora back home, simply because they know once we are united with the black Americans and the Caribbeans, the Jamaicans, we will be untouchable. That's what I think. Personally, I think like that. That's why there is a lot of restrictions. There's no direct flights to some other countries in Caribbean. There's some of disconnection between Africans and Africans in diaspora because of the stereotypes, the media stereotypes. When black Americans, they see on TV how Africa is doing bad, how some countries in Africa is going through hell, starvation, health crisis, war. And the media stereotype tells it like it's African, or Africa is going through hell, They are taking Africa as an entity, and that is a stereotype. Africa has 54 countries, 54 good countries. And if you take Africa as an entity, that means that if Sudan is going through problem, means South Africa too is going the same problem. So investors and Africans in diaspora who are yearning to come back to the motherland, they gonna not come back simply because they think Africa is burning. Stereotype. And that's why I always tell my black Americans and the Caribbeans, brothers and sisters, take your time. Don't reason with just one information. We have content creators on YouTube. They give out information. They showcase the videos. They are freely working. I have a sister called Efia Kimora right now is in Burkina Faso, and she's Ghanaian. She's in Burkina Faso and she's Ghanaian. And she is showing the world how Burkina Faso is. So if you have this stereotype or this media information coming out saying that the capital city of Burkina Faso is burning. Burkina Faso, if you're a foreigner, you can't go there. Efia Kimora is there and she's doing great. That is just to show you that some of these things that we are going through, some of the African diaspora they are saying they don't gonna come back to Africa. It's just because of mere stereotypic ideas and media misinformation from the media, to make sure that Africa looks bad. Now, how are African in diaspora supporting Ibrahim Traore? Number one, by advocating for solidarity. Like diaspora communities has shown solidarity with President Traore leadership and policies. For instance, the pan-African movement, Africa and Diaspora, met with Ibrahim Traore sometimes back, and they discussed how they can stay in solidarity and advocate advocate for the unity of all African people. Financial contribution. Some of them are channeling financial contribution to Burkina Faso, to African people. It helps. Sometimes you may find the problem of a certain region is not because they are poor, they don't have water and everything. No. It's because they lack financial support, maybe to dig borehole. They lack financial support, maybe to start doing irrigation. They don't have the machines, they don't have what. Some of the children are going through a lot simply because they lack financial support to build the school. So if African in diaspora come together and they come and take a look, this is a problem of this area, we can help on this way, and they do so, that is supporting the agenda of Ibrahim Traore. Because we cannot wait for the government to do everything for us. We can't wait for the government to do everything for us because they don't do. The governments of our African countries, most of them, they just focus on their stomach. And that's why Ibrahim Traore one day told his members of parliament and, the politicians in Burkina Faso that you are here sitting in Ouagadougou, the capital city, but people are suffering in the villages, are sleeping on trees, because of insecurity. Some of them, they lack machines to do agriculture. And after that speech, they took some tractors and water pumps to small-scale farmers in a certain village, so that they can make sure that the people of the village, them too, they are happy. We have engagement and dialogue. Now, President Traore has engaged directly with diaspora communities to strengthen ties and encourage their involvement in national development. He addressed the African in Diaspora Development Institute delegation, emphasizing the importance of their contribution. Africans in America have a lot of contribution to the liberation of Africa, even through a demonstration of support through social media platforms, through these conversations that are going on, And the unity of Africans and Black Americans and Afro-Caribbeans will mean the unity of all Black people, will mean the superior of Black community. And once Black community gain power, that means that the world will be comfortable, because Africa are the first human beings, and that's why they are so human. Some of them, they are kind towards people who mistreated them. We are kind towards people who stole our land. We are kind towards people who eliminated our ancestors. We are kind towards people who took everything from us. When they come, we just say hi, we are happy, we show them around. Like if you are Maasai, we jump up and down for them, prating them, yeah, holele, hey, holele, holele, hey. And yet these are the people who took away our property, and they are making us to suffer every day simply because of their neo-colonial system, simply because of their exploitation to our lands. But we are happy celebrating on them. We are human. Now, just off topic, there's a video of this white guy who said that white people are not humans, they are aliens. And sometimes when I sit down and think about what transpired, I agree. Maybe the only human people are Black people, because they are so kind and loving and, So African in diaspora are supporting Ibrahim Traore in many ways, like in social media, in social medias, in channeling money, in financial assistance, advocating a solidarity. And this has made Ibrahim Traore to be proud, to feel like he is changing life of the people. When people accept what you are doing, or when people, they align with what you are doing, with your agenda, you feel like you are doing something, man. Just imagine, Ibrahim Traore could be doing all of this, and yet the people say, you know what, this is not what we want. That, it's bad. It will kill the vibe. But Ibrahim Traore has the vibe, because every day when he wakes up, he goes online, Kenyan Beast has talked about him, Make Africa Great has talked about him, African Streamline talked about him, Eyes of Africa talked about him. He is happy and we have captured him. He cannot remove himself from these chains because he must deliver. You could not have just good name and then one day you just turn. You must deliver. So Ibrahim, I may say, may not be the happiest man on earth right now, simply because any single mistake, humans are humans. They will start judging you. Any single scandal, people will start judging. And that's why Ibrahim Traore is on check. Another thing right now, Ibrahim Traore need to be the safest man, because everyone knows if anything happens to Ibrahim Traore right now, I don't know what will happen, but nothing can happen to Traore. And I see your prayers on the comment section. I see Africans, diaspora, Black Americans. I see Africans, saying that we are praying for our son to continue changing Africa. Now, Africans in diaspora, most of them, they just want to come back home and to the motherland. They just want to feel, they just want to connect with the motherland. They want to just bring the spirit of their ancestors back to the motherland. There's a lot of African in diaspora, they just want to come back home to connect with the motherland. This, you may not understand it if you are not spiritual, because this is spiritual. Jamaicans, some of them, they are just thinking how they are going to come back home to the motherland. But there at the airport, remove your shoes and step down barefoot and feel the soil of the motherland. It is spiritual. And when you hear some saying that Africans in diaspora people or Jamaicans people, they want to bring back the spirit of their forefathers, of their ancestors to the land, it means they just want to come and reconnect. They want to come and connect with the land, because their ancestors, they were, carried away from the land, and they gave birth to sons, sons gave birth to grandchildren, grandchildren gave birth to grandchildren. They have never been in Africa. They just hear story. So it is awesome. It is sweet for Africans in diaspora just to come and step their foot on the motherland. So coming back with the spirit of ancestor sometimes mean reconnecting with the ancestral heritage. Africans in diaspora, many are in deep to reconnect with their roots, culture, and history of Africa. When you come back to the motherland, there is this healing and restoration of your heart automatically for the atrocities that happened. We are carrying out this bargain from one generation to another. We are carrying the burden from one generation to another because we are not using our culture. But once you feel the texture of your culture, your history, that healings, you'll start the process of healing and restoring your legacy as a black man. I always say every day, the pride of a man is to know his roots. That's the pride of a man. Another thing is pan-African and resistance. Now, the concept of Ibrahim Traore of pan-Africanism aligns so much with that of pan-Africanist. And this is making Ibrahim Traore, or is making African in diaspora to have this love between them. They love each other because of that. So we have a lot of things that African diaspora are yearning to do in Africa. Some of them, they just want to come and open business. Some of them, they just want to come and relax in Africa. Some of them, the life in the United States of America, or the life in England, or these white countries, it is not as it is good here. So that's why a lot of them are yearning to come. And those who have come and go back, they are telling stories. And when they tell stories, Africans in diaspora, the Caribbeans, all of them want to come and taste that sweetness of Mother Africa. So generally, I was saying Ibrahim Traore is calling back Jamaicans, black Americans back home, and black Americans, Africans in diaspora, and Traore are showing most love to the president. I see your comments where everyone is showing love to Ibrahim Traore. Even those presidents who are not liked, they are trying to show it, but they can't because they are aligning themselves with the imperialists. So if you are watching this video, all black people and Africans, come here and tell me this. When you get a chance to come back home, will you? Because just the other day, Ghana has given passports and free pass to some of African Americans. You know, which country will you like to visit when you come back to Africa? Tell me in the comment section. Until next episode, peace be with you.